possesses sufficient network facilities, infrastructures, optimal information technology services. UT has a data center that adheres to Tier 3 standards. The data center is constructed alongside the Disaster Recovery Center, DRC, situated in separate locations within the same region or island and off-site outside Java Island. Currently, UT has established 2 physically distinct DRC locations from the main data center. 1. Gedung Serbaguna, UT's first DRC location, is in a different building in the same area. This location contains a storage server and several servers for backup and emergency replacement service. 2. DRC Nusantara Data Center, NDC Batam, in collaboration with one of Moratalindo's internet services in Indonesia. UT uses Microsoft Azure and DigitalOcean in the realm of cloud data centers. Regarding servers, each unit at UT's head office and regional offices has approximately 200 virtual servers for data backup and unit application development. This hosting server is managed by the Directorate of Information Systems with more than 50 physical servers installed. UT's internet connection consists of international and domestic internet lines with sufficient bandwidth with a total capacity of 5 Gbps internationally and 10 Gbps nationally, using 5 Internet Service Providers or ISPs. For internal networks or local area networks or LANs that connect between buildings in UT head office, the fiber cable bandwidth used varies with the backbone of the LAN inter-building network of 10 Gbps and 1 Gbps for each network subnet. The regional offices of UT possess ample bandwidth capacity, offering speeds ranging from 100 to 200 Mbps. UT regional offices typically subscribe to a single internet service provider, ISP, in the area, such as IndiHome or ASTINet, with different capacities available. Additionally, all office computers are connected to the internal network or local area network. The Virtual Private Network or VPN connection established between the head office and all regional offices of UT offers speeds of up to 10 Mbps with a robust backbone capacity of up to 400 Mbps. The infrastructure is generally utilized for various purposes, including accessing application systems, databases, and communication tools like video conferencing and PABX, and providing internet connectivity. UT provides lecturers and students with various facilities to engage in online learning activities and access informational resources and enrichment materials. These facilities include 1. eCampus email service, which offers a generous 50 GB inbox capacity and 1 TB of integrated OneDrive storage through Office 365. In addition to facilitating communication between students and lecturers. 2. Complimentary access to Wi-Fi.ID hotspots, which is the result of cooperation between UT and Telkom. These hotspots are available at equipped locations and have been installed across all regional offices of UT.
Good morning, Dr. Tang.
Good morning.
Udah kelihatan. Saya kok jadi Professor Ojat, can you hear our voice clearly?
Yeah, quite clear.
Thank
And
you.
good morning, Mr. Rahmat, our Secretary General of AAOU, and also everyone, Dr. Tang Rong, so, and all participants.
Okay, thank you, President. And it is 10 o'clock. Now we are going to begin our webinar. Sudah mulai. A very good morning from Universitas Terbuka from Jakarta. Thank you very much for all participants attending the AAOU webinar series 2023. The general theme for the 2023 webinar series is the future of open, flexible distance learning. Today, our theme is open, flexible distance learning in volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity, or VUCA era. Once again, on behalf of the AAOU, I would like to deliver our warmest regards here from Universitas Terbuka in Jakarta, Indonesia. We are still waiting more and more participants, and from the attendance, I see that the number is increasing. First, I would like to invite the Rector of Universitas Terbuka and also the President of the AAOU, Professor Ojat Darojat, to open our webinar 2023. Professor Ojat, the screen and the mic is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Rahmat Budin, Secretary General of AAOU, and very good morning to everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the fourth episode of the AAOU webinar series 2023. And first of all, I would like to welcome all distinguished presidents, rector, vice chancellors of the members institutions who participate in this webinar, and all distinguished invitees, our distinguished speakers, Professor Tang Rong, the Director of Teaching Affairs at Jiangsu University. Thank you for your coming. And Dr. Carmencita Castolo, ex-director of the University of the Philippines Open University System. And of course, our distinguished moderator, Dr. Dang Haidang, Deputy Director of the Learning Center at Hanoi Open University, and all our beloved participants. Today, we gather to shed light on a crucial topic that resonates deeply with all of us in the field of open and distance learning, or OFDL. Our focus today is about on OFDL in the VUCA era, characterized by its volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Listen us with both challenges and opportunities as educators and leaders in the field of distance education. We recognize the unprecedented pace of technological advances, the rapid globalizations, and the ever-changing demands of the modern world. So during this webinar, we have the privilege of hearing from experts and practitioners who have navigated the challenge of open, flexible, and distance in the VUCA era. So let us use this opportunity to engage in thoughtful discussions, share best practices, and inspire one another to drive positive change in our institution and beyond. Without further ado, let us be prepared to listen and learn from our esteemed speaker. Thank you for joining us, and let's have a great webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, if you still have time to contact your colleagues to participate in this webinar, you can also join watching the webinar on YouTube. Next, I would like to invite our moderator today, Dr. Tang Haidang, Deputy Director of the E-Learning Center at Hanoi Open University. But before, let me read a brief CV of Dr. Tang Haidang. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our moderator, Dr. Tang Haidang, is the Acting Director of E-Learning Center at Hanoi Open University. He holds a PhD in International Economics from Russian Academy of Science. With more than 12 years of diverse management of experience, Dr. Tang was a mentor for IBM Vietnam's Cognitive Computing Program in April 2017. He actively engaged in cutting-edge research as member of UNESCO UNITWIN since July 2018 until present. Notably, he is also served as facilitator for the Internet Organization for Migration, driving positive social impact from December 2021 to March 2022. Dr. Tang, the screen and the mic is yours. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody, every delegation from the webinar. Welcome to the AAOU webinar series for 2023. It is my pleasure to be invited as one of the moderators for this very important webinar series. First of all, let me introduce our first keynote speaker. Professor Tang Rong from the Jiangsu Open University, China. So Jiangsu is the fourth largest population in province in China. The population of Jiangsu is about more than 80 million, the same as the Turkey. Yeah, the next place we will organize the AAOU for the next semester. So Professor Tang Yong is the Dean of Academic Affairs and the Director of Discipline Development at Jiangsu Open University. She has PhD in Environment Engineering with research interest in weather pollution treatment at electrochemical study, functional material, and as a manager of teaching and learning at Jiangsu Open University, she is responsible for discipline, professional curriculum development, learning support, and faculty training. Before we listen from the Professor Tang Rong present about her presentation, let me briefly reading the webinar regulation again for all the participants.
Okay.
So before sending your question, write the detail as follows: your name, your institution, country, and then the intended speaker. For example, Nam from Hanoi Open University. The intended speaker may be Prof. Tang or Dr. Carmencita L. Castolo. The question will be first read by me, the moderator. One is displayed on the screen, and then the speaker may answer afterward. And requires for getting the certificate, we have to do the three things. First, you have filling out the registration form in advance, and then you follow the whole program, and then after that, you filling out the feedback form, and link will be shared after the program. So please, so everybody, now it's the time for Prof. Tang Yong share her experience in through her presentation. Yeah, thank you. Please, Dr. Tang Rong.
Okay. Let me share my screen for all. Okay. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you all. I am honored and delighted to deliver the keynote speech at the 36th Asia Associate of Open Universities Annual Conference. Open and distance learning is a key priority of UNESCO's global strategy. While building an open and flexible distance education environment for the future and a learning society that meets the realities of each nation has become a decision-making issue for governments and has gained wide social recognition. As an integral part of China's higher education, distance education is a crucial pathway to improve overall quality of life and create a better future. China has been committed to building a learning society and a lifelong education system for all, prioritizing it in the Education Modernization Plan 2035 and the 15th Five-Year Plan 2021 to 2025. We are making efforts to construct a network and multi-dimensional lifelong learning platform, expanding the coverage of high-quality education resources and accelerating the development of an education system where everyone can learn at any time and anywhere, so as to meet the increasingly diversified and personalized learning needs of the public. Against this background, I would like to share my views on the topic of diversified needs-oriented practice and innovation in China's distance education, Jiangsu Open University's experience. I will begin by tracing the historical development of distance education in China, then further analyze and explore the implication and positioning and regional attempts of distance education in the new era, and finally showcase the initiative and achievements of Jiangsu Open University from practical perspective. I hope this opportunity allows us to engage in in-depth discussions and exchange experiences. Let's start with the development of distance education in China. China's distance education has undergone the following three stages during the iterative development. The first generation of distance education began in the early 1950s as correspondence education, which played an important role in the higher education system as a form of continuing education. By 1965, there were 123 conventional HEIs in China offering correspondence education, with 189,000 students enrolled. The second generation of distance education emerged in the 1960s with the introduction of radio and TV education system. We can see from the graph, this system consisted of a 5-tiered distance education structure, including the China Central Radio and TV University, provincial radio and TV universities, city-level radio and TV universities, and sub-benches, county-level workstations, and community-level teaching sites. During this period, the focus of radio and TV education is on providing higher education to working professionals, expanding the scale of higher education enrollments, and exploring multi-level and multi-pathway open education approaches. The emphasis shifted from a semi-closed delivery mode to an open one, and from a single tyranny level to a multifunctional one. The third generation of distance education is the booming modern distance education. The rapid development of modern information technology has reshaped the pattern of distance education, propelling China's distance education into a new stage of rapid development. Outline of China's national plan for medium and long-term education reform and development 2010 to 2020, which explicitly put forward the strategic objectives, themes, and development tasks for the second decade of the 21st century. The Ministry of Education approved the establishment of the National Open University based on the China Central Radio and TV University in June 2012. Additionally, five provincial radio and TV universities in Beijing, Shanghai, Jiangsu, Guangdong, and Yunnan were renamed as Open University in 2012. These shifts are all aimed at reforming the teaching and learning model and utilizing modern information technology to create a learning society where everyone can learn anytime and anywhere. Next, we'll talk about the positioning of China's distance education in the new era. Looking back at the history of the development of China's distance education, we can see that its functional positioning has gone through an iterative transformation from degree enhancement to knowledge and technical improvement, from acquiring qualification to skill and literacy improvement. Over the past 17 years, distance education has made significant contributions to promoting widening access and the improvement of lifelong education systems. The positioning of China's open distance education in the new era has three main points. Firstly, the people-centered approach. Distance education should always prioritize the acquisition and satisfaction of education by the people. It should have broad grassroots coverage and manifest public welfare and openness, aiming to make sure that everyone has access to education at any time and anywhere. Secondly, access to quality education for all. In the new era, people's overall need for education has changed from access to education for all to access to quality education for all, which means that distance education should take quality improvement as an internal development goal and constantly promoting innovation of service mode, management system, and education structure. Thirdly, appropriate technical support and a diversified learning service. With the rapid development of Internet information technology and the acceleration of education informatization, distance education in the process of promoting the in-depth integration of information technology and teaching should attain a convenient, flexible, and diverse technological platforms and resource sharing systems according to learners' varying learning needs, styles, and characteristics, so as to provide effective learning services. The third part, I would like to introduce regional attempts of China's distance education in the new era. As a province with a highly developed economy in eastern China, Jiangsu plays a significant role in the integrated development of the Yangtze River Delta region and has an important position in overall high-quality development of the country. In 2022, Jiangsu's economic output exceeded 12 trillion yuan, ranking second nationwide. Jiangsu is also rightfully known as an education hub, with over 15,000 schools at all levels and over 13 million students, both of which are the highest all over the country. From the current development of Jiangsu province, its economy has entered a stage of innovation-driven acceleration, with the quality become comprehensive improved. Similarly, the development of people's livelihoods has stepped into a phase of accelerating quality improvement so as to realize common purposes for all. People's expectation for high quality education have become more urgent, and there is a growing demand for personalized learning resources, diverse learning methods, and education services filled with warmth. Therefore, distance education as an essential means for Jiangsu province to provide public educational services, emphasis providing opportunities and services for higher education to everyone who has the desire and capability to learn. Based on the diversified learning needs of the people, the goal is to expand the supply of high-quality education resources, innovate teaching service methods, further perfect the lifelong education system, and promote lifelong learning and development for all. I'd like to conclude by sharing Jiangsu Open University's innovative practice in distance education. Based on the development positioning of regional distance education, Jiangsu Open University is committed to a mission of serving lifelong learning for all. It consistently adheres to a learner-centered approach guided by the diversified needs of learners and takes innovative practices in distance education and teaching models. By providing more diversified and personalized education resources and learning support services, we aim to fully meet the learning needs of learners at different levels and from different backgrounds. I will introduce specific details from the following two aspects. On the one hand, adapting to diversified needs and creating quality courses resources. Guided by the core characteristics and fundamental requirements of online courses, we strengthen top-level design, draws lessons from international standards, and procedures for online course development, and establishes a comprehension quality standard system that includes course team building, course design standards, development standards, content and resource review standards, candid learning support service standards, based on Bloom's taxonomy and cognitive learning series. At present, the online course development standards and guiding standards for key stage of online course teaching implementation are continually iterated to ensure that online course development and operation meet the basic quality requirements, allowing course teams sufficient flexibility to utilize the online teaching environment, expand teaching resources, organizing teaching activities, conduct teaching evaluations, and cater to students' personalized demands. Under the guidance of the course quality standards, we have developed high-quality education resources that meet the diversified learning needs of learners through various means of developing new courses, such as independent development, licensing, and adaptation. Up to now, 625 courses have been developed and launched, and over 15,600 video teaching resources have been developed covering various disciplines, including humanities, sciences, engineering, and agronomy. And via these courses, the needs of learners at different levels and from different backgrounds are fully satisfied. Furthermore, we involve other higher education institutions, industrial enterprises, and employers in course development to ensure the content are scientific and professional, as well as being practical and relevant, to better adapt to the regular pattern of distance education and the characteristics of students' independent learning. We continuously optimize the way of presenting the course content and the design of teaching activities, enhance course interactivity, and ensure effective support for learners' independent learning. In addition, we also promote new advances and changes in discipline, industries, and fields into the courses, updating the content in real time and conducting continuous iterations and upgrades. We also categorize and integrate high-quality resources based on disciplines, degree levels, and resource types. These resources are selectively made available and open to public through platforms such as JS Study Dossier and DSW.JSOU Dossier, thereby expanding the coverage of these quality resources. On the other hand, innovating distance learning support services for diverse groups. In order to provide the learners with all-round and personalized learning support services with high quality and more convenient learning support, we have systematically developed the DOTA distance learning support service model, which includes an online and offline learning space, and dual teacher team deal with academic and non-academic affairs, and a dual diagnostic mechanism with artificial and automatic feedback. DO refers to the formation of perennial, sequential, and integrated relationships between online and offline learning spaces, adapting to various types of learning scenarios and establishing flexible and diverse teaching modes, while DT refers to the creation of a highly skilled and specialized dual teacher team dedicated to distance learning support, guided by the content and standard system of learning support service. And DA refers to the establishment of diagnosis feedback improvement mechanism, combine artificial and automatic feedback to cultivate the students' self-discipline and independent learning abilities. We consistently practice the DOTA learning support service model, serving 172,000 distance learners to complete their studies. This approach ensures that learners' needs are met. Their commitment to learning is strengthened. Emotional support is provided, and their overall competence is enhanced. In addition to serving regular learners, we also attach importance to providing personalized support service for special learners and has achieved remarkable results in the process of practice. And now I will share two cases with you. The first example is serving the Army. In 2019, we initiated the education for the Army project with a personalized learning support service mechanism being established on the basis of giving full consideration to the special learning environment and carefully investigating the needs and difficulties of the soldiers. Relying on the online and offline learning spaces, we design online and learning teaching activities and resources, prepare course learning, record books, and electronic resources suitable for soldiers. Meanwhile, with the dual teacher model, we delivered learning face-to-face and tutoring online. We have formed online communication groups with soldiers, academic teachers, non-academic tutors, and administrative staff, where students can ask questions and receive guidance from teachers. Furthermore, our teachers have made many time trips to the fleet to deliver teaching, guidance, arrange course examinations, assist with thesis writing. By this means, we effectively addressed the difficulties faced by soldiers in their studies. This endeavor has gained strong support and acclaim from the soldiers. The second example is serving the elderly. We actively addressed the social issue of population aging by aim to meet increasing spiritual, cultural, and learning needs of the elderly. We use modern information technologies to expand the access for elderly to education. In response to the diversified and personalized learning needs and habits of elderly, a comprehensive elderly education model characterized by distance, community-based, and human-centered has been systematically established. Utilizing an information online learning platform, high-quality dignity learning resources are provided to the elderly, offering them mental comfort support through the interactive learning experiences that combine virtual and real-world elements. Moreover, people-centered customized plans and a dual teacher system are implemented to ensure that the LD can pursue high-level value as prevention. Throughout the learning process, we consider the principles of higher education and take into account the physical and mental characteristics of LD, providing comprehensive and personalized learning support services, emotional care, and humanistic concepts. Currently, face-to-face learning communication communities have been established at many cities in Jiangsu, making it convenient for elderly to participate in learning in their communities. Additionally, virtual online communities are formed based on class units, enabling interactive activities and enriching practical teaching experiences, which cater to the elders' spiritual needs for group interaction and emotion comfort. These are the main points of my exchange. The theme and the foundational mission of distance education is providing more learning opportunities and ensuring access to quality education for all. In the current global context, where countries' activity promote lifelong education, this distance education has shown remarkable growth and boundless vitality, becoming crucial in achieving the goals of universal learning and lifelong education. By catering the diverse and individualized learning needs of people and contributing to the construction of a learning society and a learning nation for all citizens, distance education plays an important role and is an indispensable force in China's future development. It builds the responsibility and mission of the new era. The future development of distance education is a challenge and a responsibility shared by all of us in this era. It requires us to work hand in hand and create a more people-centered, open, inclusive, appropriate, and lifelong distance education. I firmly believe that with our collective efforts, the field of distance education will achieve even greater accomplishments and have a bright future. Wishing the conference every success. Thank you all.
Thank you, Professor Tang. Thank you for the concise and fruitful information from your presentation. A very interesting case from Jiangsu Open University about the demand and the supply of the learning service for the student and elderly group. And before going to the second presentation from the second keynote speaker, let me briefly remind again the webinar regulation. Before sending your question, write the detail as follows: your name, your institution, country, the intended speaker. For example, Leah from Universidad Terbuka, Prof. Tang. Question will be first read by me, the moderator. One is displayed on the screen, and the speaker may answer afterward. And we require side for getting the certificate. You have to do the three things. First, you have to fill out the registration form, and you have to follow listening to the whole program. And after that, you have to fill the feedback form, and link will be shared after program. And now we move to the second part. of presentation from Dr. Carmencita L. Castolo. So before moving to the Dr. Carmencita L. Castolo's presentation, let me briefly read her CV. She got a doctor in education management and a master in business education. And she has a lot of certificate. As you can see, one of the note certificate is the communication in the 21st century workplace, MOOC. She got it from Coursera 2015. As you can see, even with the profession, we have to learn a lot from MOOC, from the other platforms such as Coursera, and she has 10 certificates from many organizations. Yes, from AEM, from Atas Bangka University, from UNESCO Bangkok, from UNESCO Jakarta, from Human University Philippines, and Prince George, Maryland, USA. She also got the certificate from Simeo Innotech in Reengineering School System, certificate on curriculum management Philippines, certificate cost information system strategic planning from the Academy of Development Academy of the Philippines. And also he has many experience in working as a international visiting for Royal Institute Singapore, for Hanoi, for Ho Chi Minh Open University, for Athabasca University, Canada, and she also advisory board of UNESCO Asia and Pacific Region Bureau for Education and Open Distance Learning. And also she has been the fellow of Asian Society of Open and Distance Education, VUCA City, Japan. And with a lot of experience in management and education, we do hope that he will contribute much into our program. So please, Dr. Carmencita Castolo, yes, it's your turn.
Thank you very much, sir, and good morning to everyone. On behalf of the Polytechnic University of the Philippines Open University President, Dr. Manuel Muhi, I express our sincerest gratitude to AAOU for the invitation extended to us to be part of this AAOU webinar, specifically for the July 2023. It is our honor and pride to be with all of you this morning to share with you the OFDL in the VUCA era and provide you some of the experiences of the PUP Open University system. We are all here with the common purpose, and the specific purpose of the OFDL is to provide access to flexible and affordable higher quality education that supports personal development, career advancement, and economic opportunity. However, the changes in technology, demography, and internationalization are driving education system to evolve to an open, flexible learning environment which provides learners with quality services encompassing formal, informal, and non-formal education to achieve learning for the future. However, we have witnessed the changes, and the learning for the future has posed critical challenges for OFDL leadership, and innovation because of the continuing growth and popularity of the VUCA era. VUCA has the qualities that make a situation or condition difficult to analyze, respond to, or plan for. Understanding how to mitigate these qualities can greatly improve the strategies or strategic abilities of a leader and lead to a better outcomes for OFDL. VUCA means volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. Volatility is the quality of being subject to frequent, rapid, and significant change. Small triggers may result in large changes in education. In a volatile environment, change happens in a short period of time, and the direction of a trend may reverse suddenly, like the pandemic. Another is uncertainty. It occurs when events and outcomes are unpredictable. The cause and effect are not well understood, and previous experience may not apply to the situation. It is unclear which direction education will go when caught unguarded. Added to the OFDL, baggage is complexity. It involves a multiplicity of issues and factors that are interconnected. The relationships are difficult to understand. A change in one may cause unattended changes to other things down the line. Cause and effect are obscured by the many layers, and it is not clear which factors are important in decision making. For example, the education sector was confronted with so many layers of complex decisions faced during the pandemic when decision making needs to identify what is urgent, priority, or important. The situation leads to ambiguity. This is shaped by the lack of clarity and difficulty of understanding exactly what the situation is. In ambiguous situations, all the facts are not clear. The goal or intended outcome may not be evident to all the parties involved. VUCA tends to destabilize people and become anxious, reduce motivation to learn and engage, thwart career moves, increase the chances of people making unwise decisions, paralyze decision-making processes, jeopardize long-term projects, developments, and innovations, and overwhelm individuals and organizations. These tendencies brought threat to OFDL as follows: diverse needs of its clientele, shift toward courses that provide the knowledge and skills for economic relevance and earning power, challenging professions with emerge of diverse options and new learning concepts, compromise sustainable stakeholder management services. Others are existing inequality in digital technology, access and use, determined by economic and social cultural factors, deepening relationships, and increasing set of university partners. The threats that pose challenges to OFDL are the same expanded opportunities it brought on the surface. The knowledge and perspectives of the global online opportunities offered by other organizations have opened seamless opportunities for OFDL, and these are promoting social inclusion, available digital technology-based solutions to maintain the continuity of education through alternative delivery modalities, cost leadership to serve 463 million poor children or more globally who are unable to practice remote learning because of poverty, and create an effective result-oriented academic nexus across the globe. Other opportunity is it has become the leading choice of career professionals and other aspiring students because of the myriad of opportunities. May I share with you this 2020 MIT report? In 2020, there were 807 courses run in their system with 4 million diverse learners across the globe, with 9,587,623 million registrants and 222,943 certificates being issued that have completed the courses enrolled. This facts only highlights the potential opportunity of how online flexible learning can do to promote continuing professional development through certificate courses, micro-master program, and graduate degree programs. In this slide, it shows how open flexible distance learning can reach out to learners across the globe by numbers. The massive open online courses, which were initially offered free, have gradually increased productivity from 2012 to 2017 and turned out to be profitable from 2018 to 2019. Reached growth in number of clients at the height of pandemic in 2020 to 2022 and continuously become a potential business thereafter. This table shows the number of courses increases from 2016 to 2020. Micro-credentials or short certificate courses have developed consistently and number of learners have grown exponentially. This success, however, poses challenges to OFDL providers with weaknesses. These are fixed cost is high for infrastructure development, lack of infrastructure, monitoring and controlling system for the e-learning and student support, lack of clear and communicative instructions in the instructional materials for learners in their learning process, and constraints in the material development and content review process. Limiting compliance to the existing regulations, policies, and standards only, and non-compliance to the existing quality assurance framework. These weaknesses can make ODLF rethink to optimize our strengths to provide access and equity in education, offer viable solution in the overcrowded classrooms in the residential education, revolutionize the way education is delivered, expand the way e-learning is delivered by many institutions, and keep updating quality-wise products and services in order to lead transformation and sustain development and remain competitive. All this could lead to VUCA mitigation strategies. In case of volatility, accept digital diversity, build in slack and wiggle room for unaccounted issues in the way OFDL is delivered. In case of uncertainty, seek new viewpoints and take time to understand triggers and indicators of diversity, monitor key metrics and add indicators of success and failure at every process to meet diversity. In case of uncertainty, perform risk analysis and prepare to help train school administrators, educators, and staff to get ready for unforeseen occurrences. Monitor and evaluate feedback from client satisfaction survey to address and support diversity of learners. And in case of complexity, communicate clearly, frequently with all stakeholders. encourage collaboration between teams and groups, identify areas where more insight is needed, and add talent to address them, build in fail-safe and backup systems. In case of ambiguity, perform tests to bring clear understanding to ambiguous information and be prepared to change as more information is delivered. In summary, OFDL needs to advance digital diversity, support diversity, share teaching globally, and promote inclusivity. These mitigations strategies lead us to focus our direction to the following realities. VUCA and technology structure in OFDL includes technology as a rapidly changing and advancing field where experts may agree or have differing opinions. Global supply chains and interconnected systems are complex and difficult to untangle. Disruptive technologies are introduced daily. The ultimate dilemma of OFDL providers is to take the VUCA era from the threatening condition into a world laden with opportunities. And this is VUCA and technology structure in OFDL, applying information technology to the principles in OFDL can offer a better and invaluable insights to follow the pathways of learning to the future. By identifying potential weaknesses and analyzing the risks and the right methodologies for OFDL institution will rapidly respond to the changing needs and opportunities for OFDL provider to cope with the emerging trends to promote inclusivity in OFDL. Inclusivity design in all our system, policies, and procedures will help us succeed in the VUCA area. VUCA teaches us to become more dynamic and agile in responding to the needs of our target stakeholders. OFDL needs to respond to VUCA in curriculum development, student support, faculty support, delivery management system, administration and management, research and extension management, and international and national mobility. All must be inclusive. All must fit in the changing needs of the clients. The curriculum development must have industry-based programs and certificate-based courses, government industry academic business partnership, government regulatory standard compliance, and committees on course guide development and revision by program. PUP, the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, learned from the VUCA era. Responding to it allows our system to offer critical guidance and support to students by designing policies, systems, processes, and procedures to convert all our services to online. The following have been designed and developed. In the automation of student support system, critical are the admission and registration, enrollment, document requests, student information system, learning management system, and e-library. Likewise, our faculty members have their needs too. With limited resources, our system have provided the following and hope to do more to support them. Enabling faculty support includes faculty module information system, online faculty evaluation, technology-enhanced teaching and learning support. The PUP Open University system, its officials and staff are creating tutorials and workshops on how to shift from teaching blended learning to full online teaching, as well as hosting open discussion on best practices and tools across colleges. We also share resources from the teaching remotely and integrating the transition to a university-wide learning management system. Their contributions and existing relationships within the departments make faculty members more equipped to respond with student-centered experiences. We also continuously improve our human resource information management system, or HRIS, develop a system for office accomplishment reports across the university. Learning the future to research and extension must be encouraged across the university. This is why PUP promote research and extension advocacies among faculty members to continuously grow and become agile educators facing the VUCA era. In our continuous efforts to grow as an OFDL provider, the PUP Open University is now on its 33rd year of existence. We are expanding our horizons by collaborating with international partners through research and extension activities, curriculum and instruction, and continuously learn from one another. The future of ODL in the VUCA era can be seen in this pipeline. This pipeline is seen as a bigger picture that emphasizes a linear progression from the beginning to the future of OFDL. The pipeline metaphor is based on the idea that the changing landscape in the OFDL delivery should integrate the elements of the VUCA era as the key component to formulate, design, and develop programs and delivery system that fits the workplace diversity and workplace continuing professional development that is dynamic to fill scientific and technical knowledge, skills, and attitudes of the learner's needs. Our humble beginning in the Open University of PUP is from the traditional correspondence distance learning to blended learning mode, the offering of non-traditional study programs that allows more flexibility for the professional learners, and our continuous commitment to expand access to quality educational opportunities in delivering flexible teaching and learning management through the massive open online courses and developing more massive, intensive, inclusive education. OFDL, Auto-Decision, and Immersive Learning for OFDL using technologies that can provide augmented and virtual reality for students to be immersed into a simulated world to become more inclusive. By integrating the VUCA principles to our functions, systems, policies, processes, and procedures, lead us to have quality assurance in OFDL. As such, it opens doors for us to consider quality assurance in OFDL and an inclusive design policies for collaboration for all OFDL. To conclude, OFDL can adapt to change in a VUCA world. One of the key goals of education ought to prepare students to be adaptable learners and equip with them with meta-learning skills, so that when inevitable changes occur, learners are robust enough to adopt new skills and practices and effectively transfer learning across situations. This may also help OFDL provide a sense of urgency and efficacy in a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous environment we live in. It may not be possible to know what to expect, but it is perhaps possible to learn how to respond when the unexpected occurs. With this, I thank everyone for listening and thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Carmencita, for the interesting presentation. As you can see, we from the two keynote speaker, yeah, we are living in a very uncertain time, uncertain era. We have to think fast, act fast, and without error. It's very difficult for us to achieve. This is, I think, is one of the most interesting part of our webinar. So this part is Q&A. So the audience will we give some question and our professor will answer. So this is a question from Budiman Universitat Terbuka for Prof. Tang. During transformation of your university, what is the main obstacle? Did the government involve in the transformation? If yes, how did the government assist your university? Please, Prof. Tang.
Is that the first question?
Yes, this is the first question for you.
In the chat place.
No, this question, yes, collect from the secretary, yes, the organizer, so we can.
Yes, the government involved in the transformation. First, the government renamed the six radio and TV university, and they gave some missions to the Open University in Jiangsu. The mission of our university of Jiangsu Open University is to supply public education for everyone, everywhere, for everybody.
Yes, it's correct. Yeah, but the role of the government is very important in issuing policy and regulation framework for our university to follow. Yes, if government give the good policy, so university can follow and we can develop deliver many good education service for the audience. So please for the second question.
Second question.
Yeah, this question for Dr. Carmencita. In terms of uncertainty, how does your institution anticipate uncertainties when developing a project or program? We sometimes spend months or even years to develop a program, but when it is ready, is it not needed by students and it is already obsolete? For example, we develop a metaverse-based learning, but it may be obsolete in the coming year as there are new technology can be used for learning. Please, Dr. Carmencita.
Yes, this is very true. And how do we anticipate uncertainty, specifically in developing project or program? In the case of the PUP Open University, we also hold our strategic planning. In this case, in the planning stage, we do this actually every year. And in the development of the programs, we normally include our stakeholders, internal and external stakeholders, where we get their valuable insights on how we can develop our programs in the PUP Open University. And of course, we try to give timeline for every project that we do, so that if, for example, we cannot in any way implement the program for this year, but in our plan, we have it for the next 2 or 3 years, or even 4 years or more, then we will have allowances in order for us to implement the same program if we will not be able to do it now. So we are very happy that our university top management is very supportive to our unit, to the Open University, in terms of the programs and the projects that we include in our strategic planning. And also, of course, the government, the Philippine government, is doing its best also to institutionalize the open and distance learning in the country. In fact, they have identified a national open university in the Philippines, and that is the University of the Philippines Open University. I know that a part of the officials of the AAOU are from the University of the Philippines Open University. So that is how we anticipate and how we prepare, no, for our programs in the Philippine Open University.
Thank you, Professor Carmencita. From my, okay. This is next question for Professor Tang Rong from VUCA Universitat Terbuka. What kind of personalized learning resource your university provide to the student, considering the diverse needs of the student? In what way does your university optimize the presentation of learning content? Please, Prof. Tang.
Okay. We first investigate students' learning habits and problems to learning. For example, if we have students who prefer to listen to the audio, watch videos, and read books, we will provide audio, video, and documents accordingly. We also have students with visual impairments, and we will provide a larger text version of the resource or the documents. There are also students who don't have access to internet, so we send them the book. We also rent labs based on the student's location to make it easier for our students to get to the labs. We also try hard to arrange local tutors for our students so they can meet their tutors easily to receive guidance. This is what we do.
Thank you, Professor Tang. So for serving the diversified learning need, we need to provide diversity learning material. So please, next question. This question from Sarah, Indonesia. AU presented one of the weaknesses of OFDL in the VUCA era. It is compliance with the quality assurance system. What factor make OFDL higher education institution different to comply with quality assurance system? Please.
Yes, the OFDL, as I mentioned earlier, there are the Commission on Higher Education in the country who's responsible in monitoring the quality assurance system in the OFDL. Of course, there are measurements, there are evaluation system or mechanism that they provide, and we are actually prepared for this, for the fact that they provide us, no, they give us orientation, they provide us mentoring and tutoring at times in order for us to be prepared with, for example, the evaluation that they will provide us, or when they try to monitor the OFDL HEIs in the country, we are already equipped with the evaluation instrument. That's why we are actually prepared for that. But definitely, what factors make OFD difficult to comply with the quality assurance system? The basic answer would always be the budget, because much as we would like to comply with the requirements to ensure quality in our OFDL, for example, in the PUP Open University, but because we have limited budget, because our Open University is only a part of the PUP system. That's why we do not get that much for the use of our Open University. No? But we are always prepared to comply with the quality assurance system, or when for example, the Commission on Higher Education in the Philippines, no, who is responsible to monitor the OFDL HEIs, no, we are provided, no, the chance to even discuss with them, no, what are required, or what are what they expect from us as an OFDL institution or university.
Thank you, Dr. Carmencita. So yes, the main difficult is the Hanoi Hanoi. It's about the this, and from my experience, it's also about because the quality assurance system is designed in a very careful way. Yes, it takes time, but to serve our learner in OFDL, we did faster. Yes, we need to deliver our cost faster than that. So please, a question. This question from Eka Uliwan, Denpasar Open University. Human need time and process in learning. The speed of learning also different from the others. Referring to these conditions, what are the strategies for implementing education in the VUCA era? Yeah, for both the notes speaker. Yeah, please.
I think the most important thing is in the new area. For us is to investigate what we need in the new area. Maybe we can design some resource or provide some internships in Open University that people in this area they can have knowledge and some and skill improvement. I think it's important for us.
So please, Dr. Carmencita.
Yes, this is very true that humans need time and process in learning. You know, just like in the traditional mode or in the residential mode, our students, no, well, of course, in the Open University, basically we have adult learners, no, as mentioned earlier by Ma'am Tang Rong, no, she mentioned about having students who are working professionals, right? And with this, we really need to design our teaching strategies, no? I think the only difference between the Open University system and the residential mode will always be the delivery mode. No? But in both cases, we can design as many teaching strategies, no, that we can utilize when we meet our students, no, either synchronously or sometimes even face to face, no, because in some open higher education, open and distance learning, they also require at least one or two or three from a semester, or in a semester that they also meet their students or their learners, no? And in that case, that alone is one strategy that we can utilize in order to make the implementation of our programs effective and efficient. So if we do this in the traditional or residential mode, it is likewise possible, no, that we also design other strategies or more strategies for our open, flexible distance learning.
So, yeah, speaking about the individualization or the for the individual, yes, from my experience, one topic can be presented for the different learner. I mean different kind of learner. For example, for the younger learner, for the older learner, for the for the one who got a degree. So for the same topic, we might develop our course, our instructional to fit the individual needs. So please, next question. This question for Prof. Tang from Niasrina Universitat Indonesia. Who is responsible for assuring that all practice meet the quality standard? Is there a special unit in Jiangsu Open University who are the staff in the unit, please?
Yes, we have 3 departments in Jiangsu University to see if the courses or the students meet the standards. We work together to update the resource or to design the teaching activities to meet the course design aims.
Yeah, so for every university, we have a special group of unit to examine the quality of every course. So please, for the next question. This question from Bara University, Indonesia, for both speaker. The VUCA era also present unique mental health challenges. How can us as university educators support learner well-being and mental resilience, please?
I think in Jiangsu Open University, we have some way to for this. The first thing we have face to face with students and teachers, so so they can communicate each other. If someone has a problem, they can help each other. And the second, we have the class online. We have the class online. If someone have any problems, they can communicate online at any time. And Also, we have the courses about mental health, so students can study independent. So maybe it will help them to for that.
Yes, in the case of the PUP Open University, we have one office that takes care of our students in the Open University, and this is part of the student support services that we provide them. If there are cases like mental problems or the like, we refer them to the right office, and they are very much oriented about this office where they can really consult professionals, health professionals, and sometimes there are also experts who will be who join them in the discussion of their problems. So there is a support for the students in terms of this aspect.
Thank you. Yeah, this question is very difficult, not just for our university, but also for the traditional university. We cannot determine who got the mental health problem. Yes, but I think if the course is developed in such a way that with a lot of interactive, so it may serve the learner well. So please. This from Kiara, Indonesia, for Dr. Carmencita.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, from job presentation, the growth of MOOC in VUCA era is increasing tremendously. How does PUP provide MOOC to the public, and are they recognizable for credit earning transfer?
Yes, in the presentation I made earlier, I mentioned about the popular MOOCs that we have right now. But in the case of PUP Open University, we have just started in the development of the MOOCs. That's why I cannot in any way provide you a better or I cannot provide any advice yet at this time because we're just starting the development of the MOOCs.
Yeah, thank you. Please, next question. So this question for both speakers from Anonymous. Regarding education for elderly, what's program that most needed by them? Are the program offer online or hybrid? How do you maintain the program as they have different learning pace and ICT literacy? So please.
In our opinion, there are maybe two factors affect LD to study. So we have about three ways to help LD to study. One is establish offline classes for senior for LD in the same area, so they can do some program in the same place, and they can communicate and learn from each other. We found that they like this way very much, and sometimes they almost refuse to get out of the class. Secondly, we have created online classes programs for LD in different areas. So because LD don't sleep very well, so they can they can chat late at night or early in the morning, do the program like drawing or some opera, a traditional opera in China. Certainly, we do some books for them. The book is with so many pictures in it. So LD like to do the program as a book as a learning activities. That's my answer.
Okay, I'm sorry, but in the PUP Open University, we don't have currently we don't have programs for the elderly, but we are we have already have the approval of our the top management if we can possibly offer programs for the elderly in one of the institute of the PUP Open University. We call it the Institute for Continuing Professional Development. And we actually tailor-made or customize programs. Well, if there will be requests for the elderly, we customize programs, but of course, based on the needs of the elderly who will be requesting for the programs. But as of now, we do not have the existing program.
Yes, the elderly groups is a very complex situation. Yeah, I think we should develop some kind of course to reminding them about the time to take pill, about the nurturing and physical exercise. But I think this maybe the reminding or some type of encouragement. Yeah, it's very difficult. Yeah, please next question. This from Alice, Vietnam. What role can technologies play in enhancing OFDL experience, and how can educators leverage emerging technology to deliver impactful learning outcome? Please.
I think technology can only play a role that solving the same problems the students have. But if students have some problem that different or personalized, the technology can't use well. Now I think that's the technology role in the OFDL. Maybe we need to investigate more and more from students, and we can use the big data to analyze the learning process of all our students. Then the technology can play a more important role in the teaching and learning process.
Yes, of course, if you are the students or the learners in an OFDL is expected to know technology, or they know how to make use of, for example, the basic computing is very important to all of our learners in the Open University. There are times that if we have students who wish to be trained more, for example, in PUP Open University, we make use of the learning management system. So during the orientation, we provide them the programs that we can offer. So if they will have problems while they are doing their coursework, they can come to the office or to the Open University offices and request for more training, specifically in the use of the learning management system.
Yes. From my point of view, yes, the technology can contribute a lot to enhance the experience from the learner. For example, the artificial intelligence, the AR, VR is very good for teaching the skill. Yeah, the learner can learn the skill in the metaverse or through the AR, VR. Yeah, thank you. And next question. So this is because of the time constraint. This question is the last question from Liam, Singapore. What would your suggestion be for students of OFDL to also strive with the VUCA era, especially to also get along with the industry demand side for both the speaker? Thank you.
I think it's difficult to suggest the students to get along with the study process. I think it's hard for us to investigate the bottom of what the students want to achieve through learning. If we have more time face-to-face with students, maybe it will be helpful for us to help students choose courses or design their learning pathway. I think for us it's a difficult thing.
Yeah, in the Open University of PUP, actually we have a bachelor's degree or baccalaureate degree and higher or advanced study programs, master's degree and doctorate. And because as I mentioned earlier, our majority of our students are working professionals. They know very well that what the industry demands from them, especially if they graduate the program from the Open University. That's why we help them develop more on what they need to develop further, because we talk to them as they come to PUP Open University, and we also have interviews with them as they continue their coursework in the programs that they have selected. There are also demands from the programs, and we make them know about this so that they will be aware, and hand in hand we can work together to develop them further and be more that they can comply with the requirements of the industry, as well as their present work. They can always be ready in terms of how they can be with the kind of the requirements that the industry will have. They will be able to comply with them.
Thank you, Dr. Carmencita. So during the presentation of the two speakers, we have learned many experience from the Jiangsu Open University for delivering costs for elderly and senior. And we also have listened to the presentation from Dr. Carmencita about the pathway to integrating OFDL into the POP. And we have listened a lot of questions from the audience. All the question is very interesting, and I hope that we can learn many things throughout this session. So please, Dr. Rahmat. Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tang. Ladies and gentlemen, and also the speakers, the discussion is very interesting. Both presentations are very insightful. And unfortunately, we are limited by time. First, I would like to thank the presidents of the AAOU, Professor Ojat Darojat, who gave the opening welcome and also monitoring our webinar from distance. And also, I would like to thank the speakers and the moderators. And now I would like to present the certificate of appreciation to Professor Tang Rong. And the second one is the certificate of appreciation for Dr. Carmencita L. Castolo. And last but not least, to our moderator who lead the discussion from the morning up to the present time is for Dr. Dang Hai Dang. Once again, I thank you very much for the keynote speakers for insightful presentation, and also to Dr. Dang for leading the discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, before we end our webinar, there are some information I would like to share. The first one is that the AAOU journal is now indexed in Scopus, and it now belongs to the Q1 journal according to Site Score 2022. So you are all invited to send your manuscript to the AAOU journal. Remember, the AAOU journal is Scopus Index, and it is now Q1 journal. So for those from Research VUCA or for anyone who are planning to have a promotion, don't forget to send your manuscript to the AAOU journal. And also, I would like to inform you that those whose paper is published in AAOU journal, you will be waived in the next AAOU conference fee. Remember, the conference fee. If you need further information about this, please send email to the AAOU Secretariat. And also now I would like to invite you to complete the feedback, because from the chat I read some of our participants is asking for the certificate. This is a feedback time. Please scan or type on your screen the link to the feedback time, and there are some time for you to complete the feedback. And then before I end the webinar, I would like to inform you that today is quite surprising that from the attendance, the seminar is attended by participants from 11 countries, from Saudi Arabia, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, Pakistan, India, Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, and of course in Indonesia. And then for Indonesia itself, we also found out that there are some students from living in Johor, in Penang, and also our students living in Jayapura. Jayapura is the farthest province in Indonesia. Once again, to our speakers, thank you very much. And to Dr. Tang, thank you very much as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is to conclude our webinar today. And don't forget, next month there will be another webinar from the AAOU with interesting topic. Thank you. Have a nice day. But don't forget to complete the feedback to get your certificate. Thank you.
Thank you. See you later.
Thank you.